Evening guys, James here from Axopar London Group down in Swanwick Marina. Behind me I've got a stock Axopar 37 Suntop to show you this evening. Now this boat was brought into the UK just before the recently cancelled Boats 2020 boat show, so we instead have brought her round by sea to Swanwick, where she's now available to see every day, and if not sold this week we will get her out next week, put her in the car park next to the office. So it's an ideal time if you want to see a boat in the water. This is the new Mark II Revolution hull that was launched Dusseldorf January this year. First time we've had one of these into the UK available to see and potentially trial if you're serious about buying. So if I just spin the camera around behind me, here she is. So sun's going down now, so we get a chance to see what the LED lights are looking like. Really cool looking boat. She's a white hull, Brabus line trim, so we've got those lovely Brabus badges on the side, black rubbing strake, powered by a pair of the Mercury 300 V8 engines, top speed around 47 knots, cruising really nicely. I ran her back from the boat show the other day, sort of between 25 and 30 knots. Very smooth riding boat, burning about 60 litres an hour at 28 knots, so efficient hull through the water, twin step, very sharp point of entry. I just come around onto the boat next to her here, we can sort of get a nice side profile shot of what she looks like. Obviously as a Suntop model, we've got the T-top here, and then the enclosure we can put a canopy round here, so you can still run the boat in all weathers. If you use the boat here in the UK, obviously many nice days, and even those days it's not so nice, still the opportunity to get out. You're protected by the windscreen, and all the seating inside is still very functional, even with the covers up. You'll note down underneath the water at the back there, we've got the optional underwater light package, sets the boat off nicely in the evenings. Big bathing platforms either side, very clinical this boat. We've got the standard white non-slip decks. The option, we could put the S-Tech package on if you wanted to go with the synthetic grey teak decks. Bathing ladders down here under the port platforms are easy to get in and out of the water. We've got the optional aft sunshade up here, just demoing how that works to give some protection over the aft cockpit. This particular boat's also got a sunshade that fits off the forward end of the Suntop there to cover the forward sunbed. And then stepping on, just notice above the engines the water ski frame, great for towing water sports toys and what have you, finished in obviously Brabus line black to match in with the rails and the rest of the pack around the boat. This is a particular layout with the wet bar configuration rather than the aft cabin. Obviously these boats are available in a number of different configurations, but with the wet bar we've got a nice size sink, top loading cool box so it doesn't empty its contents on the floor if you've been running around at sea. And then this is a 2-burner gas grill. So just have a look in here, you can see where the bottle stores in that lower cupboard. And then the other side is handy storage provisions. Nice little detailing Axopar badges here, leatherette covering on the handles. You'll notice loads of handles everywhere. It's a very safe boat. Just look down the side there, how tall that bulwark is. So it's a really great safe boat. You've got kids, dogs, perhaps not such stable relatives, used to being out on the water all the time. It's a really versatile, safe feeling boat for all ages. Obviously with the wet bar package you've got the option then to take these 3 removable seats. See 2 of them stored up in the upright configuration at the moment, and 1 demonstrated there in the sort of functional position. They obviously turn round if you so wish to face out the back, and then we've got the benefit in the aft cockpit. Both these floors, also the one I'm stood on now, lift up, massive aft locker. It'll take a couple of paddleboard bags, blow up dinghy, outboard, diving equipment, fishing equipment. So if you're into your sort of action water sports, then the Suntop really is the boat for you, perhaps rather than something with an aft cabin layout. Then worth noting in the aft quarters here, nice integrated lockers. You can see the finish on the inside here, very high quality. Little holders there for mooring lines, nicely finished. Take 3 fenders aside just to show you what that looks like on this side. So you've got fenders, pull out transom shower there. And then looking forward, so these actually are an optional extra, the side rails. We would never fit a stock boat without them. Again, finished in the Brabus line trim black finish. Nice little feature there in the side, little step with some non-slip up top next to that handy midships cleat. Just makes getting on and off if you're on a pontoon berth that much more straightforward. As we come forward, you'll see now as the light's starting to fade, we've got these beautiful LED lights. The boat looks really spectacular in the dark with all the LEDs lit up. And then if we start forward, we've got the electric anchor pack. So it's a good size locker here. We've got controls over on the starboard side. Again, you can see plenty of storage. Anchor well sits forward here, so we've got 30 meters of chain. Good size ultra anchor up there, stainless steel finish on the anchor itself just to finish the boat off really nicely. Optional shore power system here with a cable, and the main breaker box is down there. Battery charger as well included if you go with the shore power kit. Then we've got a cushion here on top of the anchor locker itself. Nice little place then to sit out on the bows, and you'll see the deck sockets here which incorporate 2 upright poles like that stern arrangement. And then off the forward end of the roof here we've got a mesh canopy to give you sun protection over the sunbed. So this is the standard seat arrangement, and then the secondary bit forward here is the optional extended forward sun pad that you'll see on the website. It's got a storage locker in the front, good for carrying things like a life raft, or it would even take a dinghy if needed. Highest spec AV on here, so we've got actually the standard pack plus the audio 1 and 2, so we've got subwoofer, we've got speakers all around the extremities, down the side decks, in the main cockpit itself. So great AV system, amplified as well. And then notable on the Revolution boats is this option for the Gullwing door package. So this just really brightens up the bow cabin. If we come around here, you see we've got one door open. Just gives another way into this space if you wish. If somebody sat in the toilet compartment, again, which we'll go and have a look at in a sec, we've got separate access into this forward cabin. 2 little seats, one either side. We've got the LED light package in here which gives us feature lighting around the bed here and up in the roof around the front here. Comfort pack as well, so we've got the nice trim with nice little upgrades around the sides and up in the top here. Little opening window for ventilation. Good sized bed here as well, over 6 foot long. And then under the forward bed is a water tank, and then thruster battery is right up forward. Got a little remote control there for stereo, so it's Bluetooth, talk to your phone, your iPad or what have you. You can see the doors have got these nice big skylights in above, so if we just stand down, you'll notice as we came in, these are nice little handy steps that lift up. Just gives a bit more space around the end of the bed at night time. And you see further AV up in the roof there, so it's a really spacious once you're in here. Very bright and airy. Doors are, you could easily, talking to another client, we just put a little bit of rope off the latch in the middle there down to the arm, and then sort of leave them at 45 degrees. Just crack them open to let a bit of ventilation in on the hot days. Carpets obviously all removable, so it's very practical in here. If you're using the boat in the UK, you've got shoes on all the time, don't need to worry about real high-end luxury carpets and marks and what have you. So then we look aft into the toilet compartment itself. On this side, this boat hasn't got it, but there was an option for a shower compartment, but as more of a day boat, this particular one we decided not to spec it with it. And then this is the toilet compartment, so we've got an electric flush Jabsco toilet there, little holding tank indicator down there, handy little sink, cold water only on this particular boat. And then we've got all the breaker panel up top there for all the onboard systems. And then we can come up into the cockpit rather than going back out through the Gullwing doors. And you'll see we've got the seats set up just in a varied configuration here, just to give a feel for how they can be laid out for running or stationary. So the table here can obviously be opened up, those store away underneath to give you more working deck space. We've got nice lockers, again nicely finished under the floor, big seals on those to stop them filling up with water. We've got optional drawer refrigeration, there's one of those both sides here in the forward seating. Upholstery, this is the Silvertech Storm, which is the upgrade darker upholstery of the two greys that we do from the factory, and then these two center seats lift up to reveal again yet more storage. Acres of space on here. Sometimes on a cabin it's considered a little bit tight, obviously, as we've got to pack a lot more in below decks, but the benefit on a sun top like this, say you've got a lot more room to play with for storing water sports equipment. Obviously, if you don't take the aft wet bar as you've got here, you can also have an aft sun pad for storage. And then up above us we've got the full optional Webasto electric opening roof, and that's got a protective cover that sits up top as well to keep it clean when the boat's not in use. And then you can see the helm seats here spin round 180 degrees to give a couple of different configurations. So we've got two forward, one aft at the moment. Drop down bolsters so you can sit or stand when running. If we just drop these down, everything shuts with a nice clonk. Stand at the helm now, so you can see you're really protected. This windscreen is right up above your head, so very protected. Just spin the camera around, get a feel for real panoramic view from the helm. Very, very easy to drive these. They track really nicely backwards for close quarter manoeuvring. Obviously that midships cleat means if you're running them single-handed, very easy to come into a berth and just stick a midships line on while you get yourself sorted out. Remote control on the bow thruster as well, which is a nice touch. So we've got optional trim tabs, optional bow thruster, the fully upgraded Simrad glass bridge display here. So we've got two 12-inch colour plotters. These do all your AV navigation systems, tankage, things like chart plotters. This particular boat's also got a radar. It's got a DSC VHF over on the starboard side there. Mercury's proprietary DTS throttle and shift. So these are one finger in and out of gear controls, very easy for manoeuvring. Independent controls here for trimming engines, both together on the single lever there. When you're running, actually you can go to one lever, tuck this out of the way, and then you can run both engines on one lever. Quite nice on a rough day if you're wanting to use the throttle to balance the boat. And part of the Brabus line trim, we've got this nice Alcantara tilt adjust steering wheel. We've got some Brabus detailing here with nice handrails, say to complement those badges we saw earlier around the outside of the boat. Again, little push button LED switches here for lighting, horn, wipers, pump overrides and what have you. Looking down under the helm seat here, so we've got a little drop down plinth, which is great if you want to get your head up above that windscreen, you can. Battery switches are here to save crawling around in the bilges when you first get on the boat. Really nice little functional touch. Really, these boats are designed by people that use them. Very practical. As much as the performance, they really do work in the real world for those that want to get out regularly. We're about 11.5 meters tip to tip. She's 3.35 meters beam. We're carrying 730 liters of fuel. Top speed on these, say about just over 47 knots, burning about 190 litres an hour at that. But really the real fast cruise speed of 30 plus knots, effortless, and that's where really she comes into her own. Maintain that very much in pretty much all sea states. So say loaded up spec as we see her here, she's about £245,000 including VAT. On the water, that's with a chart card, some basic safety equipment, mooring pack. Very, very little needed really to get her ready for handover. So boat's not yet registered, literally touched the water, ready to go to the show this week. So full Mercury engine warranties, Axopar factory hull warranties, and of course a full PDI carried out, so she can be ready in a matter of days if you want to make the best of what's left of the 2020 autumn season. Here in the UK, of course, Axopar London Group also selling boats into a number of overseas territories as well. So if you're interested in finding out more about her or anything else in the range, we obviously do the cross cabin variant. Across here we've got the 28 open, which is reviewed in one of my other videos. So it's a unique opportunity. We're not going to see another one of these. Even if you were to order a stock boat today, this side of Christmas, it's unlikely that you would be on the water. So it's a great opportunity. If you need a marina berth, we've got plenty of options for you here on the south coast. or further afield. Great relationship with all the big marina corporations, sort you out with a great package deal, whether that's in a dry stack or a marina berth itself. So my name is James from Axopar London Group. Mobile is +44 7747 686 587, or drop me an email to james@axoparlondongroup.com. I can run you through the specs of this boat, potentially anything else we might have coming through into next year, or if you're looking for something on the pre-owned market, whilst there's very little out there at the moment, obviously happy to keep an eye out for you and see what's about. Hope you enjoyed the tour today, and we look forward to hearing from you.